Thank you for coming. I'm going to start by asking you guys a couple questions. How many of you have a cell phone? Okay. Now, who all has gone on their cell phone in the past week while driving? Every year in the U.S., almost 500,000 people are injured or killed by traffic accidents attributed to the combination of texting and driving, according to San Diego's Facts and Statistics about Texting and Driving in 2018. I myself am guilty of texting while driving, whether it be to send a quick text, make an important phone call, or use my GPS. The time it takes between life and death is the amount of time it takes to send an important text, or a quick text, make an important phone call, or use a GPS application on my phone. We must all put the phones away while we are driving, and we need to focus on the road. I'm going to explain the problems of texting and driving, and I'm going to tell you why we need to quit doing it, as well as give you some ways to do so. Though most people know texting and driving is a negative risk, they will try to make an excuse to make it positive. However, the positive ways always have a way to argue because of how bad texting and driving truly is. The first and only excuse a person can use to say texting and driving can be helpful is that they can text and drive at the same time to save time in their busy lives. However, this could only be a pro if the message is extremely important or if you don't get into an accident. Using a cell phone while driving may seem a minor offense on the face of it, but for some, it will be the difference between a long life or an early death, says the Targeted News Services article, Cell Phone Use Putting Road Users at Risk. In 2013, many distractions occur commonly, whether it be to whether you're eating, drinking, or if you're a female, putting on makeup. However, cell phones are a much more serious safety issue because they present both mental and physical distractions for drivers, says the Washington Post article, Should Cell Phones Be Banned on Road? It's a tough call, in 2001. You may get away with texting and driving. However, continuing to do it keeps you at risk to be a part of the 500,000 people who are affected by it every day. It is easy to think that you need to make a phone call or shoot a quick text to someone at the exact moment. Perhaps you forgot to tell them something important. But is that important message more important than your life? Many people think nothing will happen to them, so they should save time in their busy lives by messaging someone and driving at the same time. That being said, if you really must look at your phone, just pull over. However, pulling over also could potentially be a risk if somebody else is on their phone while driving, because they could possibly not see you. Not to mention, texting and driving is illegal. It is best to just hide the phone away until you get to your destination. Knowing these insane and scary statistics, we need to take action and hope that everybody will quit texting and driving as a whole. People who text and drive themselves are the same people who fear that somebody else will run into them because of them being distracted on their phone. Like everything else in life, your actions not only affect you, but the lives around you. I'm going to tell you a short story from America's News article, A Text, 2 Deaths, a Marion's Mom's Life Forever Changed, by Trish Mehaffey. Jenny Perez was waiting to turn from County Home Road onto North Troy Road as she was on her way home with her 4 daughters. This is when a pickup driven by Keith Fern smashed into the back of Perez's compact car and killed 2 of her daughters, who were sitting in the very back seat. Selena, who was 16, and Bella, who was 13, died from massive blunt force injuries. And they were just going home that day, so I'm sure they didn't think that it would happen to them. I'm going to show you now a short excerpt, but it's kind of intense, so is there anybody who's against watching it? we do not quit texting and driving as a whole, the risk of somebody's life will always be at risk on the roads. According to the newspaper article, The Growing Danger of Texting While Driving, written by Katie Weiderhorn in 2008, 89% of adults think texting while driving is distracting, dangerous, and should be outlawed. Yet 66% of those people surveyed still text and drive. That's only a 23% difference. Earlier, I said if you pull over while on your phone, you could still be at risk because somebody else could be on their phone. This is why it is best if every single person would just wait a little bit longer to check their Snapchat or update their Facebook status. A like on Instagram isn't worth as much as your life. If you do not think you have enough self-control to not look at your phone when it dings or not grab it when it is in your pocket, first of all, you could just turn it off. But there are also a few ways that may be able to help you. I know they helped me. You could give it to someone else in your vehicle, but if you don't trust that someone else, then they probably shouldn't be driving with you, first of all. Or maybe there's no one with you. An alternative to giving your phone to a person in your vehicle is finding a good spot to tuck it away. This could be behind your seat, under your seat, or even in your trunk. You could also put it in multiple bags and store it away in one of those places. I have an example for you. So I have this box, and I'll just use my note cards because my phone's recording. But I can take a note card, or a phone, put it inside the box, close that up, put it inside a bag, and this bag ties so it'd be hard to open while driving. You won't be able to reach it anyways, because then I put it inside this bag and zip it up. And then you just tuck it away in one of those spots. Or you could just, if you don't want to go to the extremes like that, then you could just turn your phone off and have self-control. There are many different ways to keep you off your phone, but there are only two ways that could put your life at risk while driving. You being on your phone, or somebody else being on their phone. Let's wrap this up. Knowing it could be somebody else's fault too, we must all put the phones away while driving and focus on the road. I've explained the problems of texting and driving and told you why everybody needs to quit as a whole, as well as gave you some ways to do so. At the beginning of the speech, I asked each of you two questions. Do you have a cell phone, and have you used it while driving in the past week? Mostly everybody raised their hand twice. If I asked you the same questions next week, how many times would you raise your hand? Thank you.